Hey everybody, this is Wally from Fanfiction Classroom, and I'll be talking about the new season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. In light of the Sokovia Accords and S.H.I.E.L.D. being legitimized again and no longer needs to operate in the shadows, since the world believes Phil Coulson is dead, the organization needs a new director to be the face of the organization. It seems that Coulson will find himself back in the role as an agent and teamed up with Mac, and they are tasked with tracking down and confirming the presence of enhanced humans, meaning Inhumans. Agent May is tasked with training special strike teams, and Fitz and Simmons are in their relationship. They've taken a new step forward. And Daisy, off doing her own vigilante thing, is Quake. With all these changes to S.H.I.E.L.D. and the team being split up and going in different directions, Daisy being gone, a new director, May training strike teams, and Mac and Coulson finding enhanced people, it's not going to be the same S.H.I.E.L.D. It's going to go back to being that government entity it is, and it's S.H.I.E.L.D's not going to have the same freedom it had when it was on its own and in the dark. I know they were hunted and not looked at favorably, but they had more of a freedom of choice. And with this new director and the Sokovia Accords, and it seems that because May's also training specialist strike teams, that it's more than likely that S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to come in direct conflict with people with powers and come in conflict with Daisy when she's doing her thing. I believe because S.H.I.E.L.D. is now a legitimate agency again, and as a result of the Sokovia Accords, and it's under new leadership, I believe it is more than likely that S.H.I.E.L.D. will end up being adversarial against Inhumans, a lot more adversarial than it was in the past season. I think it's to be based more on the fear that people generally have with the unknown. I mean, people are afraid of these people with powers. They see them as dangerous. They don't see them as human. And I think because they're in the minority, the Inhumans are going to be targeted. It is because I think that S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to take a more adversarial role against the Inhumans, more violent, potentially deadly, that I think that they're going to come in direct conflict with Daisy. As I hope you all know, Daisy Johnson, aka Quake, is going to end up working alongside Ghost Rider this season. I don't know how many episodes that's going to be, how long it's going to last, or when it's going to happen. But apparently they're going to come into conflict in episode 2. But I think that's going to be how they meet, how they come to terms with each other, and how they start working together after whatever happens in that episode. I think that's going to be key. Regardless of how the season begins, I believe the season's going to start out adversarial between the Inhumans and S.H.I.E.L.D. I hope there's some sort of reconciliation in it, but I think it is going to be a lot more violent and adversarial than it has been. But knowing Coulson, and Mac and her friends, it is likely that it could be minimized or brought back to the middle ground that it had been in the past, where they didn't end up being the bad guys, where they did their best to protect people regardless if they had powers or not. That's where I hope they end up this season, even if it does start out adversarial. This is it for Fanfiction Classroom. Stay tuned, leave comments in the comments below.